The Psyche of Success, the video blog that helps you reach the next level. Education, entertainment, and motivation to help you and your team succeed in business and in life. Subscribe, share, and learn. Welcome to The Psyche of Success with your host, Jody Holland.
Hey guys, Jody Holland here with The Psyche of Success. I've got Gabe Morgan with me today. We're going to have a great conversation about how he views the world, what shaped him into who he is today, and how you can stay connected with him. So, Gabe, to get us kicked off, tell the folks a little bit about who you are and what you're into right now.
Well, my name is Gabe, like Jody said, and I'm 27 years old. I went to Caprock High School. That was great.
Know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
I'm a Longhorn, man. Longhorn.
Awesome.
Went on to go to Amarillo College. Found out that college really wasn't for me. Went down the entrepreneurial route, and now I own a phone and computer repair store with my business partner, Andrew Brandt.
You know what's cool is Tony Heish, who started Zappos, one of the things he talks about is he actually gives scholarships to people so that they won't go to college.
That's incredible,
isn't it? So I loved college, but I'm probably a little bit weird. But I had a blast in college for a bachelor's and the master's. But I've looked at a lot of people and thought, I don't know why you're going, because 80% of people don't even go to work in a field related to what they went to college for. So it makes it like, go if you're actually going to use your degree. But if you're not going to use your degree, or you're going to get a job that didn't require a degree in the first place, just go get the job and be good at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, on every one of my episodes, I ask the question, how do you define success? So thinking about your business that you've got, as well as the rest of your life, what makes you feel successful?
I love that question because I was actually just discussing that with my wife last night. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, some people are so poor, all they have is money.
That's good,
man. And that just gets me every time because, to me, success is not all about the dollars in your bank account. It's so much more than that. To me personally, success is, how good of a father are you going to be? How good of a husband are you going to be? How good of a friend are you going to be? That to me is the most important thing in my life is my family and the people around me. Am I going to be a good role model, regardless if I have money or not?
Yeah. So I want to find out who said that. That's a really great quote. I had never heard that before.
One of my favorites.
And I thought I had heard every quote in the world, but I hadn't heard that one. So I think about it kind of that same way. What you're talking about is you've got to have that balance between, each of the aspects of your life. Because like my personal mission is to help people find their potential so that they live a fulfilled life. Absolutely. And I'm with you. It's not restricted just to the money side of it. I also have found that working with businesses, if they put money in front of purpose, then they almost never have as much money.
Yeah.
And so if you have a purpose, like you know what you're put on this earth to do and you pursue that with all that you've got, money finds you.
Absolutely.
You don't have to chase it down.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I feel like money becomes, you become the person that deserves the paycheck.
That's it.
If you're chasing the dollar, you're never going to get there. But when you become a better person, the money follows you.
Yeah. So I was reading David Gakandi this morning. He wrote a book called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And one of the things he talked about, and this is I think it was chapter 13 or 14, he said, you have to desire the end result of who you want to be, but not want it. Wow. And that's kind of that Zen mindfulness of detachment of know who you are and desire to be that best version of yourself, but let go of wanting it. Because when you want something at a subconscious level, it says, I am in lack, therefore I need.
That's good.
And so anyway, that's what your quote reminded me of. Is what I had read earlier, but that was good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So thinking about people who have invested into you, and I know you've been through a lot of trainings. You're like me. You're kind of a self-help junkie. Who's somebody?
Love reading books.
Yeah. Who's somebody, whether it's an author or somebody that you've actually interacted with, who's somebody that's had a big impact on how you became you?
Well, I'll tell you someone I'm really interested in right now is David Goggins.
Oh, yes.
I mean, the thing about
Beast.
David is if you're feeling bad about yourself, just just go read a book or go listen to one of his podcasts, and you'll instantly feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Because nobody has a crazier laugh than that guy.
No.
He's an incredible human being.
God,
honestly.
where he started, like, have you seen his videos about what he looked like before he joined the military?
Yeah.
That dude is in beast mode all the time.
Absolutely.
I watched a video of his 2 days ago that he's always running, and somebody is like, I guess, driving beside him with a video camera. And he said, I ran into this trainer, and he's like, I take this mountain every day. And David said, oh, I'll see you tomorrow then. David's like, I start every day with a 10-mile run or something to warm himself up. So he's running up the mountain, and he didn't see the guy up and down. He didn't see the guy the next day. The next day, he sees a guy getting out of a vehicle at the top of the mountain. And the guy's like, he goes, yeah, he just he saw me, and then he went, oh. I think that guy, I was thinking about him at the gym. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
But he does inspire you to just think, I got to do something more.
Yeah.
Because there are no excuses.
Yeah, absolutely.
So so you talked about one of your favorite quotes about some people are so poor that all they have is money. Do you have any other thing that kind of helps guide your life, whether it's a quote or just a thought?
Well, I'll get a little personal. I was actually, I don't know if you saw on Facebook, but I was separated from my birth mother at birth, and I didn't meet her until recently. So being 27 years without meeting my biological mother and other situations in my life, made me not really have the choice not be successful. I wanted to make something of myself and change my bloodline and, one day have kids and change this whole generation of people and, become successful, not just for myself, but for everyone that follows me. And I think that's the biggest thing that keeps me going every day is I want to be the best person I can be because I owe it to myself.
So what was that like, if you don't mind me getting a little personal, what was that like when you did get to meet your mom?
It was incredible. My mom, she was actually, I'll actually share it. She was diagnosed schizophrenic when I was born. And, a lot of people could use that as a crutch and say, oh, well, I'm the son of a, schizophrenic mom, and I'm just going to, just let my whole life go and just forget about it. But, and that's made me become better every day because I know that I will not become that. But what it was like when I met my mom was, it was crazy. She was, not literally, but it was crazy.
Figuratively.
Because, it's just, you have that bond with your blood, and most people get to experience that every day. Unfortunately for me, it hasn't been that way. And so when I got to see where I came from, I just felt this overwhelming sense of appreciation for God having his hand on my life and allowing me to succeed as far as I have in life, and knowing that it could have been a much different story. So extremely emotional moment, and it was something I'll never forget.
So thinking about just that perspective, what you said, it could have been such a different story.
Absolutely.
Every one of us, as we go through life, we make a series of choices. And to me, what it sounds like is your mom said, look, I need my son to have the kind of life that maybe I can't provide right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think that's what we miss a lot of times. A lot of times that is pure love, to want the best for your child, even if it's not what you want for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So both of my cousins are adopted, and I know one of my cousins, the one that's my age, he really struggled a lot with wanting to know who his birth mom was, particularly after my aunt passed away, and he found her. I don't think he ever actually talked to her. Wow. But he found her and just studied what her life was like, but never actually talked to her. But it can either negatively impact you, or what you said is, I don't think I had any other choice but to be successful. That's that idea that you're going to be the identity that you create for yourself. Yeah, so your identity was the identity of success, not the identity of struggle or victimhood. 100%. So I'm really glad you chose that direction because like what you said also, a lot of people use things as a crutch, and you could have just said, oh, well, what choice did I have? I was adopted. I had to get on drugs, and I had to mess my life up. You could go any direction you want to go.
And that's something else I'll share is, I recently connected with my biological brother as a result of meeting my mother. And it was literally a 50-50 shot. I mean, I have 4 blood relatives that I know of, brothers and sisters, and it's a 50-50. My brother and I are the only ones that didn't have this mental disease that affects my family. So
yeah, and it is schizophrenia is genetic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm thankful you didn't get it.
I am too. Haven't gone crazy on you yet. So
No, and I've actually, I've got several people that have been in my life that had schizophrenia, and so with medication you can control it. But the challenge for a lot of people who are schizophrenic is when you're on medication, you feel like you don't need medication.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a pure self-discipline kind of thing to keep going in that right direction and keep your life on track. And I applaud people who will stay on the medication and keep their life straight.
Absolutely.
So next thing I've got for you, and we've kind of gone deeper than a lot of our conversations, so this is good. What's something that keeps you up at night related to success in life or success in any aspect of your life?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'll share a quote that just makes sense with what I'm about to say. Tony Robbins says, when your blueprint doesn't match your life,
yes,
you're in pain. You experience pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, ever since I got married and met my biological mom and done some things that I needed to do, I sleep pretty good at night. I don't stay awake and ponder and wonder, and because my blueprint matches my current situation.
So you created alignment now, but that not being in alignment, it freaks a lot of people out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not living up to your own expectations, it's tough to get past.
Virtually impossible.
Yeah.
T. Harv Eker, one of the programs I went to of his early on was called the Millionaire Mind Intensive Weekend.
That sounds good.
It was really awesome. It was in Dallas back in 2003 or 4. I can't remember now. But he was up on stage and he said, give me 10 minutes with anyone and I will reveal their money blueprint to them. Wow. I was speaking at a business class out at WT 4 years ago now. And I was talking about how you have to pursue something aggressively and you have to ensure that you have the right profitability. And I was talking about the accounting principles of it. This kid raises his hand and he goes, I just think that's wrong, man. I just think you can't just think about money. Money can't be important to you. And I remember looking at him going, you're broke, right?
What?
And he goes, yeah, I said that. And he goes, yeah. I said, money is the byproduct of doing everything in the right way. So I'm not saying you're worshiping money or anything like that, but I am saying money has to be important in order to live a truly fulfilled life. Wallace Wattles started his book, The Science of Getting Rich, with one cannot truly be fulfilled unless one has money. And he's talking about having the means to do the things you want to do. Because, you want the best for your wife.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to provide the best for your wife, which means you've got to be successful, which means you've got to earn enough revenue so that you provide the kind of life that in your head matches the identity of who you are.
Yeah, 100%.
And I know for me, I've had this identity for all these years of I provide great vacations. I have tons of fun with my family. I do all these things. I work really, really hard, and I am a great father, a great husband. It's not an or, it becomes an and.
Absolutely.
So last question for you is, what advice would you give to the listeners that would help them really improve the psychology of their success?
Well, I got so many things I could say about that, but number one thing I'll say is I'm going to go ahead and keep quoting people. That seems like all we do is just, I heard this quote and I heard this quote.
Well, there's nothing new under the sun, I believe is one of them.
Jim Rohn says, miss a meal, but never miss a good book.
Oh, that's good.
And it's so good, and that's the thing is, before I started on a personal development journey and before I met kind of my mentor in life, Daniel Rasband, I didn't understand how powerful books were, and most people don't. But you can go down to your local Barnes & Noble or get on audible.com and you can download something that will literally change your life.
Yep.
If you're struggling with a problem, chances are someone's already been through that. So you don't have to waste 5 years trying to learn how to get past a wall that someone's already been past. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Go spend $20 on a book, read the book, and then change what you're doing, and you'll be successful.
That's it. That is awesome. So if people want to get in touch with you, want to do business with you, how do they find you?
Well, like I said, I fix phones and computers primarily with my time. I'm involved in other things, but that's the best way to get a hold of me. So my company is Phone Medic of Amarillo. We're on 34th in Georgia, in the Georgia Village. Jody is one of my customers.
Yep.
Has been. And, you can find us on Facebook, Phone Medic of Amarillo. Search us on Google. You can call us at 806-418-4630. You can stop by anytime. You don't have to fix a phone. You can stop by and just talk to me. I love to help people. If you're struggling or if you're looking to go down the entrepreneurial route, I can help you with that, get you plugged in with this gentleman right here.
Awesome.
We got you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for being on the show. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. I always learn something new when we're together. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Psyche of Success. Make sure that you subscribe to the show. Go out and find us on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you download your podcast. Check this out on YouTube as well and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Psyche of Success. Give us a 5-star rating, subscribe, share with your friends, take out billboards about how much you love us if you want, but just make sure to apply the lessons learned and live fully into your potential. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Psyche of Success.